Europe has laid the foundation for the European army. They laid that foundation yesterday. I'm looking at right now the European Council Conclusions of European Defense, 6 March 2025. In this document, it does not explicitly say the formation of a European army. It does, however, lay out for member states. It singles no state out particularly. It singles them out as a whole. It goes step by step. There's 7 key points in this. Point number 3 is the one that goes specifically through all the conclusions, and I'm just going to bring to your attention the most relevant conclusion. Section D welcomes the recent letter by President of the European Investment Bank and the plans therein to step up its support for Europe's security and defense industry while safeguarding its operations and financing capabilities, and calls on the Board of Governors of the European Investment Bank to urgently continue to adopt the EIB's practices for lending to the defense industry, notably re-evaluating list of excluded activities and by increasing the volume of available funding in the field of security and defense. Underlines the importance of mobilizing private financing for the defense industry and invites the Commission to consider measures in this regard, including by signaling private investors the importance of the defense industry in Europe at large. Why is that relevant? Because that creates the military-industrial complex.
The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.
I wager to say that the door has just been opened by this statement right here. This is the creation of the military-industrial complex of Europe. The reevaluation of certain activities that were previously banned by the European Bank, those include the creation of certain military technology, military industries. And as a country who is pretty much captured by the military-industrial complex, and you can say that confidently when $1 trillion of your budget is going to the defense industry, that you are now on the precipice of this Europe. This is the financing and procurement structure for a single European army. The member states, it talks about the member states' contributions in this. Not of manpower, as of right now, a financial structure. And of course, I'm going to link this in the description so everyone can read it. I don't want to go through it line by line. It is quite long. But it certainly does. It emphasizes areas of technology, areas of finance. Essentially, the entire infrastructure and logistical operations and base for what will be a European army. Whether that is later this year, next year, I think it's going to happen a lot faster than people anticipate, because American troops will not be put on the ground in Ukraine. And I cite that specifically because they, in their European defense, cite Ukraine and Russia's aggression there specifically. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine and the repercussions for European and global security is a changing environment that constitute an existential challenge for the European Union. And they do use this word also. Will accelerate mobilization a couple of different times in here. And of course, again, they're not talking about physical military manpower. They are talking about the defense industrial base, the manpower to create the systems, to create the weapons, systems, manufacturing ability, logistical chain. Hey, Simba. For that army. I was wondering what was going to come out of this. I've actually been going back and forth in the news trying to see exactly what would be said here. And what was said is enlightening. It is enlightening. Their entire plan right now is consistent with what NATO is, and working with the United States and NATO as an alliance and partnership. Going forward, we'll see. I think this is also relevant as well. The European Council looks forward to the white paper on the future of European defense. Now, if you get geeked out on some of this stuff like I do, these white papers are some of the greatest things you've ever read. Insights into exactly what's going on. Laying out defense doctrine and strategy step by step. And I look forward to seeing what that says in March and June meetings. Will revert to this issue. So hopefully that white paper is coming out sometime later this month, maybe June, but I hope to see it. I hope to see it. The conclusions that Europe makes, excluding the United States as input, will be very interesting to see. Their priorities in technology will also be interesting to see. This might be one of the most interesting white papers to come out since the Chinese white paper of, I think it was in the late 20 teens. Simba, come on, pal. Where they described their buildup, especially in the naval and missile realm. But I wanted to bring this to you because I've been watching it, and I'm going to keep watching it, because I do think that this document lays the logistical, financial groundwork for the European Army. Section 3, paragraph D and E, which of course will be linked in the description. I appreciate you coming by and listening, though. Hit the like if you liked it. Subscribe, maybe even share it with a friend. Let's get the word out. The Europeans are going to be building a defense industrial complex. Just as the president warned us in 1961, I issue that warning to Europe in 2025. Thank you.